Hello. In today's lab, I will be configuring IPv6 access control list on the network. I will implement rules so hosts in networks will have access the FTP server or use the web browser for HTTP and others wouldn't. And also some hosts in the network will be able to access router 1 via SSH. First, I will start by configuring IPv6 addresses on the devices, then configure SSH on the router. Then after that, I will show you how to configure IPv6 access control list and then verify my configurations based on the access control lists. I hope my videos are helpful for those who are seeking to be certified for the Cisco exams. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and share it on your Facebook page and give me the thumb up. And please, let me know if you have any suggestions, comments or questions. I'll gladly answer you back. On my Facebook page, I created a group where I posted all of my labs there. The name of the group, CCNA Free Practice Lab Walkthrough. Please have a look and feel free to use it. On the description of this video, you will find two files, one for the packet tracer source files and the documents to walk you through the lab step by step until you finally will be able to verify the configuration you did during this lab. Here on this topology, we have three networks. We have the red, the white and the blue networks. I configured the IPv6 on the PCs, here PC2, go to the IP configuration, and as you can see here, the IPv6 configuration on the PC. And as for the FTP server here, also if you click on it and then go to services, under FTP, we have two users here. Cisco with the password of Cisco. These came with the packet tracer default, Cisco, but I created another one user and with the password of user. The same goes here on the web server too. So now I will be configuring the router. On the router, enable configure terminal, the host name of router 1, and now I will configure two users here on the router, admin 1 with privilege 15 and Cisco as a password, and admin 2, give him also privilege 15, the highest privilege, with the secret password of Cisco. So user name admin 1 privilege 15 and the secret password of Cisco, and the other username of admin 2, give him also the privilege, highest privilege 15 with the secret password of Cisco. Next, I will configure IPv6 on the interfaces. So on router 1, from the global configuration, I will start with the red the red network on gig 00, gig 00. This is with the IPv6 address of db8 1:1/64 and IPv6 address FE80:1. This is our link local, and to enable or activate the port with a no shut command. Now, what is link local? In a computer network, a link local address is a network address that is valid only for communications within the network segment or the broadcast domain that the host is connected to. But what is the purpose of the link local address? The purpose of these self-assigned link local addresses is to facilitate communication with other hosts within the subnet, even in the absence of external address configuration. Now if you look here for the FE80, what is this? It's an IPv6 address. The FE80 colon block is reserved for link local addresses. Link local addresses are used for packets sent only to directly connected devices, not routed. Once again, to directly connected devices and not routed. The Network Discovery Protocol (NDP) is the biggest user of link local addresses. NDP sort of replace ARP and DHCP in IP version 6. Now I'll continue with the other interfaces. On the interface gig02 connecting the blue network, 02 IP version 6 address of 2001 ABCD 3 1/64, and the link local IP version 6 address FE80::1. This is our link local on this network, and to activate the port with a no shut command. And the other interface on gig01 connecting the white network. This is with the IP version 6 address of 2001 DB8 ABCD : this is 2::1/64 FE80::1. This is our link local, and activate the port with a no shut command. Now I will enable IP version 6 unicast routing on the router. On a Cisco router using the IP version 6 unicast routing global configuration command. This command globally enables IP version 6 and must be the first command executed on the router. So now on router 1, simply type it like this from the global configuration mode. Type in IP version 6 unicast routing and then hit enter, and that's that. Now I will configure SSH on the router. From the global configuration, firstly I will configure a domain of CCNA. IP domain name ccna.com. Next I will configure the key, crypto key generate RSA, and I want the size of this key of 1024 bits. Now I will use SSH version 2. So the command from the global configuration mode, IP SSH version 2, enter. IP SSH version 2. And I want to use only SSH on this device. So now let me just explain something before I go into the configuration of SSH. SSH, or Secure Shell. This is a remote administration protocol that allows users to control and modify their remote servers over the internet. It provides a mechanism for authenticating a remote user, transferring inputs from the client to the host, and relaying the output back to the client. So I'll configure SSH simply like this, line VTY from 0 to 15, which means all 16 lines on this router, to log in local, and we want the transport input to use here only SSH, and I'll exit. Now what I did so far, we configured the interfaces and I enabled or configured SSH on the router. So we will be able to remotely connect to the router via SSH from any device on the network. So from PC2, I'll go to command prompt, SSH space dash link. I will use admin1 and to this IP address db8 abcd 1::1, and the password for admin1 of Cisco, and we are there. exit. So I was able to SSH. Now from PC2, can I FTP to use the FTP service on the FTP server? So let's see. FTP 2001, the IP address of the FTP server, DB8 ABCD 3::2. I'll use user, and I'm there. And to quit, just simply type quit. Okay, so I was able to SSH from PC2 to the router. I was able to FTP to the FTP server using the FTP services. And now I'll see if I can ping the other server from PC2. So ping 2001 DB8 ABCD 2::2, and I'm able to. So no restriction, it's an open network now. So can I ping from PC4, PC2 or PC3? Let's see. From the command prompt, I'll type in ping 2001 DB8 ABCD. I'm pinging from PC4 to PC3, 1::3, and I'm able to. So okay, let's see from PC4 if I can FTP to the FTP server. FTP 2001 DB8 ABCD 3::2, user and password user, and I was able to quit. So can I ping from PC4 to PC2? Ping 2001 DB8 ABCD 1::2, and I was able to. So I can ping, I can use it. Let's see if I can from connect from PC1 to web server 2 using the web browser. So go to the web browser, type in 2001 DB8 ABCD 2::2, and I was successful. So let's see if I can do it from PC3, the web browser. 2001 DB8 ABCD from PC3 to FTP server 3::2, and I was successful. So now I will implement ACL policies on the network. So I was able to ping, I was able to SSH, and I was able to connect using the web browser to the servers. Now, what is ACL Cisco? ACL access control lists are filters that enable you to control which routing updates or packets are permitted or denied in or out of a network. They are specifically used by network administrators to filter traffic and to provide extra security for the network. This can be applied to routers. Now, I'll explain what's the difference between a firewall and access control list. Access control list is a logic that will allow or deny a few packets passing through the interface. The difference between the two lies in how they are implemented. The firewall has just one purpose of examining traffic and blocking or allowing the traffic. Access control list does a stateless inspection, while firewall handle a stateful inspection. So now our first policy here, we have hosts from the red network not to have HTTP, not to use the web browser to access the white or blue networks, and should not be otherwise restricted. So the only thing we want to restrict for the red network is accessing the white or blue networks using HTTP. So on router 1, before I showed you that here they were able to using the HTTP. I'll do it again here before I implement the policy. So I'll try to use web browser to access the web server 2 here, 2001 db8 abcd 2 : 2, and here we go. I was successful. So let's see after I implement this if we will still able to. So on the router, from the global configuration, I'll create the access list, which I'll call it red-access, all caps. So what do we want with this access control list? We want to deny TCP to the network of 2001 db8 abcd 1://64, which means the whole network from any equal www, or if I type question mark, you can, for the www, which is the HTTP or port 80, you can use either one of these, but for this example I'll use www. Sorry. So this is what we want to restrict the devices on red network. But here we will permit IPv6 any source to any destination, to use any other protocol. So how to read this line here, that we are denying TCP to this network, which is the red network, to any destination, deny equal to www or HTTP or port 80, you can use a number. But we will permit anything beyond that. Now, we want to place this. So we want, because it is here on this is the source, and this here, these two networks or whatever networks also connected to the router, not to be able to access anywhere using HTTP, using the web browser. So we will place it here on this interface. So we will go to the configuration of the interface on gig 0 is 0, IPv6 traffic filter for this access control list, which we named it red access, in the inbound, and then hit enter. Now, before we were able to, so now let's see if we will be able to. Here we were able to, so I'll close it and then reopen it again. 2001 abcd db8 abcd 3::2, and it will time out on us. There we go. And the same from PC3. Using the web browser, 2001 db8 abcd, we will go to the server on the white network, which is 2::2, and it will time out. Come on. Here we go. But we still can ping 2001 db8 abcd 3:2. Yes, we can. Can we FTP to it? FTP 2001 db8 abcd 3:2. User. Yes, we can. I'll quit from here. Can we SSH to the router? SSH-link using the credentials of admin1 to 2001 db8 abcd 1 colon colon 1 and the password of Cisco. Yes, we can. So only we prevented the two PCs or the red network from accessing the white or the blue networks using HTTP or the web browser. Now, what does traffic filter mean when I place the access control list policy there? Access lists determine what traffic is blocked and what traffic is forwarded at router interfaces and allow filtering based on source and destination addresses, inbound and outbound to a specific interface. Each access list has an implicit deny statement at the end. So we are done with the first policy. Now let's move on. Now, hosts on the white here network are to be prevented from accessing FTP service on the server. So this network or any devices you may add in the future to this network will be prevented from accessing just this host using the FTP services on this server. This is the first. And the second one also, hosts on the white network are to be prevented from accessing the router using SSH. So let's see from PC4. I will first try to FTP to the FTP server from the command prompt FTP 2001 db8 abcd colon 3 to user. Yes, we can. And to quit from the FTP, just type quit. Now let's see if we can SSH link. I will use the credentials of admin2 and 2001 db8 abcd 2 colon colon 1 and the password of Cisco. Yes, we can. Exit. So now let's see after I implement the policy on the router. So on router 1 from the global configuration mode I will create first the policy IPv6 access list, and this time because it's in the white network I'll call it white dash access, all caps, enter. What do we want to do here? We want to deny TCP for the network on this IPv6 address abcd colon 2 colon colon /64. So we are denying TCP for all of the network here, the white network, to access host only, not the whole network on the blue, just this host. That's why I type the word host, and the IP address of this host is this host space db8 abcd 3 colon colon 2 equal to FTP, that you cannot use the services on the FTP server, and hit enter. And another one to deny TCP for this network, the white network, db8 abcd 2 colon colon /64. This means the whole network. We did not specify just one host, just the whole network. Any equal 22, which is for the SSH, and then hit enter. But we will permit IPv6 any to any. Exit. Now we will place this access control list on this interface here, going in on router 1. So on the interface configuration of gig 0 1, IP version 6, traffic filter. We want to filter the traffic for this network, or access control list, which we call it white access, all caps, the inbound, the end direction, and then hit enter. So let's see. We were able to FTP to the server. So let's see if after we implemented this policy. So on the keyboard, just hit the upper arrow and then hit enter. And it did not allow us. And now let's see if we still can SSH. And the same, we will lose the connection. So we are prevented from using FTP, and also we are not allowed to remotely connect to router 1 from the white network. But can we access the server using the web browser? 2001 db8 abcd colon 3 colon 2, and we are able to. But also, can we ping? Can we ping? Not necessarily that. Let's see if we can ping PC2 db8 abcd 1 colon 2. Yes, we can. So far everything is working perfectly. So we are just prevented for the white network to SSH to the router, or to use the FTP services on the FTP server here. Now, hosts in the blue network here, we want to prevent them from accessing router 1 using SSH. So let's see if PC1 can accessing the router using SSH. SSH space dash link L, and I will use the credentials of the admin 2, and on this IP address db8 IP version 6 address, sorry, abcd colon 3 colon 1, and the password of Cisco. Yes, we can. Okay, so our policy here, we will prevent any device will be connected to the blue network from accessing or SSH to the router. So now we will implement or create this policy. On the router, first I will create the access list, IP version 6 access list. I'll call this blue access, all caps, enter. Now what we want here, we want to deny TCP for the network of 2001 db8 abcd 3 colon / 64. This means the whole network from any equal 22. 22 is a protocol of SSH, and then hit enter. But we will permit IP version 6 from any to any. Now we want to place this policy. So because this is our source, so it will go through this interface on gig 02. So this is where we will do it, and on the configuration interface, configuration of gig 02, IP version 6, traffic filter for the access control list, which we named it blue, all caps, access, from going in the N direction. So hit enter. I'll exit from here. So we were able to SSH here, but now let's see. As you can see here, we were able to. Let's see if our configuration is correct. So upper arrow key on your keyboard and hit enter. and we lost connection. But can we, from here, we are prevented from using SSH to remotely connect to the router using SSH. But can we ping? I'll try to ping PC3. Ping 2001 colon DB8 1 colon 3. Yes, we can. Can we FTP to the web server? FTP 2001 DB8 ABCD 2 colon 2 user. Yes, we can. And to quit, use the word quit from here. This is it for today's lab. I hope you learned something from this lab. I try to make it simple as possible so it will be easy for you to understand the basics, so the difficult things will be easy for you to understand. If you have any questions, comments or suggestions, please just write me a comment on YouTube channel, or write me a message or a comment on my Facebook page or my Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Have a nice day.